Good morning, class.
Good morning. Good afternoon, sir.
Today.
Fine, sir, fine.
Good.
Okay. My topic for this afternoon is engine room watchkeeping procedures. But before I will proceed to my main topic, I will show you some slide pictures. So in these pictures, what can you describe what happened on board?
Fire.
Yes,
Pollution.
fire. And why there is a fire on board? Is there any idea?
Negligent.
Lack of negligence on duty.
Okay. So it is also because of poor watchkeeping procedures and practices. So now, at the end of the session, you will be able to state the procedure in taking over a watch and explain the do's and don'ts while performing the engineering watch. Taking over the watch, the officer in charge of the watch shall not hand over the watch to the relieving officer if there's a reason to believe that the latter is obviously not capable of carrying out the watchkeeping duties. Like for example, if the reliever will go down in the engine room and the duty officer senses that the relieving officer is under the influence of liquor, so what do you think? You will hand over to the relieving officer?
No.
Why? Yes, very good. Because if you hand over to the relieving officer, then he is not capable of doing his duty, there is a risk of accident in the engine room, or he is also risking the safety of the crew on board. Points to consider that taking over the watch. First, standing orders and instruction of chief engineer. So, the relieving officer must understand and read the standing order of the chief engineer so that he will know what the chief engineer is wanting him to do during his watch. Next, work being performed. The reliever should know what the duty officer in the engine room, if he is doing maintenance or what. And he must know also if the maintenance is hazardous, if it is hazardous or can cause accident to the personnel in the engine room during the watchkeeping. Condition of main and auxiliary system. The reliever should know the condition of main and auxiliary system in the engine room. If there is any problem in the machinery, is not operational during he relieved the officer on watch, so he must inform him. So monitoring and console equipment. So he must also know the condition in the control room monitoring system. Let's say, for example, in the control room, you can accept there the alarms in the monitor. So sometimes the officer will suppress the alarm. So you must check. If there's alarms in the monitor is being suppressed, because if that alarm is still suppressed during watch and you do not know, so there's a possibility, there is a risk of, there is a big problem for that, because you don't know if that machinery is inoperational or operational or not in operational. Weather. You must know also the weather outside. If it is rough weather or bad weather. So availability of safety equipment. So availability of safety equipment is very important because if there is like let's say for example fire, so safe fire extinguisher must always available so that you can grab it immediately and extinguish the fire. So state of completion of engine room lab. So if you do some maintenance in the engine room or if you do something you must write in the logbook so that the reliever also can see it. So the relieving officer together with the qualified ratings involved shall check all the criteria to their satisfaction before taking over the watch. And don't just go down in the engine room and just sitting down there, okay, you can go up now, it's everything okay. So it's not like that. So you must check, and then if you are satisfied, then you can send him up. So the officer in charge of the watch together with the qualified rating shall continue to be responsible for machinery space operation despite the presence of the chief engineer. So even the chief engineer is still there in the engine room and you are the officer in charge of the watch, don't go anywhere without informing the chief engineer. So because you are still officer in charge in the engine room. Shall report any problem encountered in the engine room during your watch, you must immediately inform the chief engineer so that he can immediately take action. So those always supervise the main propulsion and auxiliary system. So this is what you will do when you are doing your watch. Always supervise the main propulsion and auxiliary systems. Then ensure that the emergency power source is at state of immediate readiness. Like for example, emergency generator. That emergency generator is very important because if the, for example, auxiliary generator in the engine room suddenly failed, not shut down. So the main engine is automatically stopped. Then this emergency generator will start a few seconds. So pay attention to weather condition and outside environment. So you should know also the condition outside. So always consider the chief engineer's standing orders. So the chief engineer will write standing orders in the chief engineer's standing record book, standing order record book. So you must check that one because I'm sure chief engineer will check that one if you did his order during morning time. So record or undertaking in the logbook. So also you must record all what you did during your watch. So you must record all, so that the reliever also aware what you are doing in the aware during your watch. Say don't during your watch keeping. Undertake duties apart from watch keeping, such as cleaning. So it's not necessarily that when you are on watch keeping, you jump to another job which is not important, because the very important job is watch keeping, because if there is a problem in the machinery, so you can immediately take action. Ensure enough food, beverages, and refreshment. So this is also not good during your watch keeping, because maybe sometimes if you are hungry, so you live in the engine room, you cook in the galley, then you take food from the galley, you bring in the engine room. This is not good. So relieve yourself from burden chores. So relieve your burden from. So you just stay in one side, just relax. So constant supervision of your co-workers' activities. So don't just supervise every time your co-workers. So always remember that watchkeeper and reliever are familiar of their duties. Watchkeeper ensure that his reliever. Thank you.